The first one starts with the first patient I was ever assigned. I was a first semester nursing student, and we were going to be working with the same patient for the whole semester at a nursing home. This gentleman was the sweetest older gentleman. He did have dementia, but very sweet disposition. His family had left for us, or the staff there, a little album, photo album of his family, pictures of people in his family, a little letter explaining who he was, where he came from, what his career was, and what his hobbies were. And I was there, I would be there once a week for about 8 hours a day, every week with him, to help assess him. I also helped with his daily activities, such as bathing, feeding, and things of that sort. He was wheelchair bound, and he was just the sweetest thing. Well, every day that I was there, they always had an activity in the afternoon, and I would ask him, do you want to go, whatever it was they were doing? And he'd be like, no, I want to stay here. And I'd be like, okay. It's kind of timid in the beginning. By the third week, I said, why don't we go check it out, see how it is, and maybe you'll enjoy it. If you don't want to stay there, we'll just leave and we'll come back to the living room area. He said, okay. So I wheeled him over. And this particular day, they were doing singing. They were singing songs of yesteryear. And little by little, this little meek gentleman who was very sweet, didn't really talk too much, I could see his hand tapping on his thigh, and I was like, this is great, because I've never seen any emotion or any joy from him. By the second and third song, he was singing the songs, had a big smile on his face, and even the staff was just amazed to see him, how happy he was. So, lesson that I learned is to never underestimate those that might have cognitive deficits, because you can try new things with them. Might not really be new, but it's new that day for them. And they might completely enjoy what they're doing. This way you'll find exactly what it is that they enjoy at this moment in their life. I just thought that was wonderful, bringing and seeing him with joy. Joy reminds me of having a full heart. And the next story that I'm going to share with you, sorry if you're a little squeamish, has to do with open heart surgery. During my rotation in the coronary vascular or artery CVICU, I can't remember right now what it's called. During that rotation, I had a patient that I was working with, and on this particular day, he was actually going to have open heart surgery, a CABG, which is a coronary artery bypass. And I was invited to go witness the surgery, and of course, as a nursing student, I was thrilled to be having this experience on one of the days that I was there. I was all suited up, all sterile, and the patient literally in the operating room, his head was right here. I stood there for 3 to 4 hours, which is how long the surgery takes. And I could not believe what I was seeing. His chest had been opened. You see his lungs breathing, his heart pumping. Just amazing to see. And for a nursing student, I think that's one of the highlights of my time in nursing school. The amazing thing is, of course, while they're working on the heart, they need to stop the heart. They can't do surgery on it if it's moving. So there's this amazing machine, the cardiopulmonary bypass, which is also called the heart-lung machine. You might have heard of it that way, that actually circulates blood and oxygenates the blood to give nutrients to the body, the heart, and everything while they're doing the surgery. Just amazing. Anyway, later on that afternoon, I was told that he was doing wonderfully. He was doing great. And little by little, a week after when I came in, they told me that he had already started doing cardiac rehab. Just amazing to see someone have a second chance in life. And just knowing that this technology 50 years ago was not around. People would not be able to survive what he was going through prior to the surgery. So it's just amazing. From the heart, we're going to go to something that is a story that I'll tell you that is heart-wrenching to me, especially as a parent. In nursing school and in the emergency room, I was always very much affected when a child came in, sick, ill, or injured. It truly affects you. This particular rotation that I was in the neonatal ICU, and I was assigned a patient that I would be with for the rest of the semester, and it was a 3-week-old little baby. This 3-week-old was diagnosed with neonatal abstinence syndrome, NAS, which basically means that since the mom, while she was pregnant, was doing heroin and methadone to try to get off the heroin, the baby is now addicted to opiates. Very sad to see. This baby had classic signs of NAS: arching of the back, crying, it's a shrill cry, it's a very different cry, unable to suck, so it had a feeding tube. It was just sad, and I remember doing the things that I needed to do as a nurse, but also sitting with that baby in my arms, rocking the baby, and just thinking, what is their life going to be like? Are they going to grow and have an addiction? Are they going to see things that children are really not supposed to see? I prayed for her while I sat with her each and every time, hoping, and I still think of her. It really, really touched me. So much so that at the end of our, the last semester of nursing school, one of the projects that we have to do is a creative project over a patient that truly affected you in any way, that you really felt connected to, and I decided to make a poem, write a poem for this little child, and I'd like to read that for you. It's called The Tree and the Seedling. The tree and the seedling. A tree is wilting, the poisons are seeping in, yet there is still life. Seeds are falling, 1 by 2 by 3 or so. Will one take root? The tree tormented, the poison so sweet, it hurts to cease. One seedling fights, it's stronger than the tree. A new life begins. The wind, it blows. The seedling twists and arcs, it cannot stop. Poisons still flowing, a torturous venom flowing within. Who will care for this fragile seed? Who will care? The angels of high nurture, care, and feed her. Someone does care. The Lord guard her. May the seedling persevere. She is his daughter. This beautiful child, will roots grow deep? Branches high? Where will life lead? Thank you.